Hatred destroys the one who hates. The others that you hated go on about their business. Care less.
So the legacy of Medgar Evers is an understanding of our own humanity and of our own responsibility of seeing that in other people.
He is written out of history. He's just not included as Malcolm and Martin. To me, it's the 3 M's, and Medgar's right up there at the lead.
Everlasting, Life and Legacy of Medgar Evers. Watch now on MPB Passport. Visit mpbonline.org for more. The nation's oldest traveling celebration of the arts, the National Folk Festival, is coming to downtown Jackson November 7th through the 9th. Discover the sights, sounds, and flavors of our nation. The full lineup is now available, featuring blues, gospel, Puerto Rican, Irish, Southern Soul, Bluegrass, Korean, Zydeco, Flamenco, HBCU marching bands, Choctaw, Go-Go, and more. It's unique and unforgettable fun for the entire family, and it's free. More at nationalfolkfestival.com.
Okay, Java, you got me on that. That is cheesy. Where'd you come up with that?
Well, that's one of the, gentler Halloween songs, and the kids always sing it, spooky, scary skeletons.
I haven't heard that one. I mean, and I'm Mr. Cheesy when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But yeah, it's Halloween, so I had to just give it a little something.
It is that right? Did y'all fix your yard up and all like that?
Yeah, we put some. It's funny because the ferns in the front of the house are not, they're not lush and green, so we just left them for Halloween, and then we put some bones in the pot, and it's a part of the decor.
Man, this year and by the way, good morning, Job. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. Good morning, Felder.
Good. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but I want to thank folks who supported us during drive time. This was one of our most successful in a long time.
Yeah, that is a big truth, and everybody around here is super excited because it just shows once again, the support that's out there for public media and MPB. So yeah, we appreciate everybody for supporting us last pledge drive.
Yeah, and we really appreciate it. But there's all sorts of stuff for the next hour. We're going to talk about gardening, but there's also some stuff that's ancillary to gardening, I should say. Like, everybody's decorating. Used to be it was just Christmas. People would dress up, the fix your art for Christmas. Easter was big, but Halloween has gotten huge.
And there are plenty, especially in the Jackson metro area, driving to and fro to work, depending on which route I take, I see something new. Like, Halloween is, just like you said, jumped up there with Christmas when it comes to, yard decor, 16-foot, 17-foot skeletons and stuff.
I wish I had gotten stock in inflatable industry.
True.
So much. As a matter of fact, even though we're talking about gardening, let me show something. I went down to Mobile this past weekend for a plant swap. Let's throw up picture number 1. For folks who are on live stream, you can see this. If you're not on live stream, just sometime go to YouTube anytime, 24/7, and just type in Gestalt Gardener or Mississippi Public Broadcasting, and you can see this. But this one I saw in Mobile. It's really easy. It's a stick with a pumpkin on top and a couple of branches, and they drape stuff on it. But I mean, that is a good old Halloween scare creature.
But that jack-o'-lantern, I'm pretty sure it took some time.
It did, but ain't nothing like, let's look at picture number 2. I went to New Orleans the other day, and wait till you see this. I mean, New Orleans knows how to do it.
Hey.
This is only what I could get with one shot from it. There was probably 100 skeletons in all different poses and shapes and stuff. It was really, really creepy looking.
Now that's a scene, and I can make out the James Carville skeleton because he always wears the the purple and gold and green shirt.
Yeah, well, it was incredible. New Orleans is really decked out. Well, every place is. And even though this is a gardening program, we'd like to remind folks it is a live program. If you want to call and talk about what's going on in your garden, that's what we're here for. We're here to talk with you about what's going on in the here and now in your garden. But let's throw up picture number 3. This will surprise you, Java. This is in my front yard, and I've been doing this for years. Probably 15 years now. That's a jack-o'-lantern I made out of an old 3-wheeler tire. I guess an ATV tire.
You know what, Felder? I don't think I've ever seen that before. And that's in your yard?
It's in my yard. I mean, I turned one of those old 3-wheeler type tires inside out, carved into a pumpkin. It was some orange paint, and I mean, it doesn't rot like the rest of them.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Now that's so Felder.
Yep. And just to continue this, let's look at the very next picture. This is something I thought was the best. I saw this online. It's not a great copy. Picture number 4. This is an actual picture of bats at a hummingbird feeder. Those are real bats.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, we don't have that bat here. This is the fruit bat. And like in Florida, maybe along the Gulf Coast, places where they have fruit bats, they come at night and they feed on, well, I think those are bats. That might be that hummingbirds are getting the top costume this year.
That's what I was about to say, Felder. No, don't say I think those are bats. No, those
are hummingbirds dressed up like bats.
That's pretty neat though. This man, I'm kind of speechless. That's an awesome picture. Bats at the hummingbird feeder.
Yeah, we don't have. I don't think we have that kind of bat. That's the kind of thing we need to ask the people at Creature Comfort. Do we have? These are fruit bats, and they sip nectar, but they also get nectar from flowers. There's a lot of bats that pollinate flowers at night. You know, the angel trumpets, all those the big night blooming things. They're pollinated in a lot of places by nectar feeding bats. How about that?
And the bats also, I know, take care of the mosquitoes. In certain spots.
They'll also empty your hummingbird feeder, apparently. So anyway, if you'll indulge me for one last thing. I was walking around the neighborhood yesterday, and I saw a combination of flowers that I think looks Halloween. Picture number 4 is a flower called bat face. Can you see it?
And I see the bat face.
I mean, it's a little red. It's an annual. Here it's an annual, but it has like red ears and a little bat face. It's just an incredible. It's called bat face. But also there's a type of vine called euonymus, and it has fruit that looks like little pumpkins to me. So this looked very Halloween-ish.
I can get with it. And what you said, the vine euonymus?
It starts with the euonymus.
Euonymus.
Yeah. So there's a shrub called euonymus. But anyway, I just thought that was something that kind of caught my eye because I was in the Halloween festive mood. Halloween festive. And by the way, while I was riding around, I saw a neighbor who's got I was walking around the neighborhood who has a lemon. And she said that it's a lemon. She said it was a mandarin, whatever. Anyway, it's not. They don't grow up in central Mississippi. You can grow citrus plants from, I'm going to say, Hattiesburg south. The closer you get to the coast, the better it does. Occasionally, you can grow stuff a little bit further than that. But there's a fruit tree that looks just like a big lemon. And if you cut it open, I'd cut it open here, but I mean, I would make a horrible mess. It's got a real thick skin, and it doesn't have very many seeds, but it is a cross between a grapefruit and what they call a trifoliate orange. And a lot of people they're familiar with trifoliate orange. That's this little thing. I'll hold them up side by side. Trifoliate orange is not a wild citrus, but it does grow around the countryside. This is a plant that's been used as a rootstock for citrus. You know, when you buy a lemon tree or a grapefruit tree or whatever, it's grafted onto a rootstock that grows a whole lot better. And unlike other rootstocks, the leaves have got 3 leaflets. Each leaf has got 3 leaflets on it. This is called trifoliate. And trifoliate orange is a rootstock. And when people plant grapefruits or lemons or limes or whatever north and they freeze, this rootstock sprouts out. And you get all these little small, they call them wild oranges or hardy lemon or whatever. But that's just a rootstock. Well, this plant is called a citrumello. It is another graft that they use on citrus trees. It's a cross between the trifoliate orange and a grapefruit. and it's hardy, even up into Kentucky. And you can get these things, but trust me on this, they're not very fun to eat. They're real sticky. There's not a whole lot of fruit to it. But those of you who say that you've got a lemon tree up in North Mississippi, I saw one up near Greenwood. Nope, that's a citrumello, which is a cross between a grapefruit and hardy orange. Isn't that esoteric stuff to know, Java?
Well, the one thing that I kind of noticed is when you held up the flowers, or I mean the leaf of the
Yep.
That those thorns are
this particular
magnificent.
One, this particular one, most of the time the wild hardy lemons, hardy orange, whatever you even call them, are real straight with big straight stems. This has got very twisty thorns. This will eat you up, Java. And
I know.
You stick your hand in it, you can't pull out. But this one is called Flying Dragon.
Now, Felder, before we're going to take a break, I know we have Cooper from Starkville on the phone, but we got to take our first break. But why do, this may be something esoteric as it is, why do some of the flowers and things have those thorns and some don't? Was it like a protection?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. They're modified, sort of like modified leaves, I guess. They're stipules or something like that, but they're mostly for protection, and just keep other things from eating it. And it works. It works. There's some other things we can talk about. We've got a fellow hanging on from Starkville. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk with him. But would like to mention that I went down to Ocean Springs this past week. Had a wonderful time.
You've been on the road, man.
I have been. I went to Mobile, rode all around both of those towns, and I also went to a plant swamp in Flora yesterday, the oldest known in the universe. And we had a good time. We'll talk about some of that later, but if you've got some things you'd like to talk about, it's all about gardening. And toll-free, 1-877-MPB-RING. Me and Java and all the folks here at Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we really appreciate you. And if you want to give us a call, that's what we're here for, not to talk about Halloween and show off stuff from the yard. It's to talk with you about what's going on in your garden. So give us a call, folks. We'll be right back with more of the Gestalt Gardener right after this.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
Mississippi is a place of deep roots where every story matters and every voice can be heard. At MPB, we stand with our local communities, bringing you the voices of those who shape our state through local programming that reflects our culture across small towns to big cities, from the Delta to the coast. We tell the stories that define us, from the music that carries our voices to the leaders who inspire change. MPB brings you the heart of Mississippi, celebrating Mississippi one story at a time. MPB, your stories, our mission.
All righty, folks, welcome back. Horticulturalist Felder Rushing and Java. It is sweater weather. It is sweater weather.
And for some people, it's their favorite time of year.
Well,
not so much.
Yeah, not so much. Hey, let's. Cooper's been hanging on from Starkville for a long time. Cooper, thank you for holding. How are you this morning?
Oh man, I'm fantastic. Good morning.
What's up?
So my question, I have some fruit trees, a variety of different types, pears and blueberries and a few other things that are planted in, I would describe them as the red clay hills of Webster County.
Yeah.
So very acidic and low organic matter.
Right.
And I've mulched them heavily and, of course, done some of the basic amendments and whatnot. But I can't water them that often. And I was thinking about, with an auger, doing some vertical mulching, some columns around the perimeter, maybe the drip line area. and put mulch down a few feet, and it's kind of a water sink, maybe get some organic matter around the perimeter. But anyway, I just thought I'd ask your thoughts about vertical mulching.
Well, it's a good idea, but, good ideas aren't always necessarily good practices. And the truth is that, if you stick your arm straight out and wiggle your fingers, that's where most tree roots are. They're very shallow, where they get not only organic matter, they get air and moisture. And if you dig augers down there, basically when it rains, they're going to fill up like test tubes with water. And you might have roots growing around it, but it really doesn't benefit to aerate more than a few inches deep. It'd be a whole lot better off to wait till after a good rain and go out there and just punch a bunch of holes all over the place, maybe 4, 5, 6 inches deep, and then either rake some sand or a combination of sand and compost into that. But a whole bunch of little fingers going in the ground is a whole lot better than a few. A lot of times we see where people put a PVC pipe down deep around plants. That does nothing. Again, stick your arms out, wiggle your fingers. That's where the roots are. So better to aerate way on out there than deep in a few places here and there. It really is. And organic matter doesn't really last long. You'd be better off to brush some coarse sand in there, because that's permanent. That'll make those little fingers permanent, whereas the organic matter will disappear after just a few months, and those holes will snap shut again.
Sure. What about during the inevitable summer and fall droughts? Would a bigger kind of reservoir maybe hold some water?
Well, again, you're thinking right around the trunk, but you've seen trees blow over. How shallow the roots are. The important roots, the feeder roots, the one that absorb nutrients and water and oxygen, those kind of molecules, they're way out from the trunk. So it's better to irrigate the whole area than a few little spots here and there close to the trunk. Those roots are, again, you're looking at the shoulders and maybe the elbows. The fingers are way on out there. That's where you need it. The truth is, if you've got a pretty good root system on the trees, they can make it through drought if they're good varieties. And keep in mind, not all apples and pears do well in Mississippi. Some do better on the coast, some do better in Michigan. So there's a fellow up near in Coldwater. He actually has his nursery where he propagates stuff is out from Carrollton, who's been seeking out and propagating old heirloom apples and pears and peaches and plums, those kind of things that have a history of doing well for us. But, the main thing is, the area way out under the outer spread of the branches and beyond is where water is important. And so if you want to do anything at all, I would you can actually rent an aerator from some of these equipment rental places, or else just go out there with a heavy pointy auger and just make holes 3 or 4 or 5 inches deep, way out away from the trunk, under the outer spread of the branches, and throw sweeps of sand in there. That'll help more than anything.
That makes sense. And the guy you're talking about, Larry Stevenson, is where I've gotten almost all of my trees.
Well, he got all of that's good. He's been looking for trees that are in yards that have never been watered. He uses a good rootstock. So once you get them through the first summer or two, they can probably make it on their own. They really can. But if you can do any aerating, go way out from the trunk.
Good deal. Well, thank you for the info.
All right, just trying to save you a little trouble and effort there, brother.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Thank you.
You bet, Cooper. Thanks for calling, man. Now let's slide all the way down to Gaucher. Steve, did you survive that tornado they had this past weekend?
Man, I tell you what, I'm glad I was an hour late. It's right across the bayou from me. To the woods, a couple hundred yards.
I drove right through there on Saturday morning, and it was such a pretty day. That was what, Sunday morning?
Yeah. Me and the dog was headed to Hardee's to get breakfast.
Yeah. Well, man, good on you. Well, what's going on in your garden today?
Yeah, Satsumas and lime trees. I want to talk to you. Well, Satsumas, can't find them anywhere. I lost mine during that freeze we had last year.
Yeah.
So I went over to Presley's outing, Orange Grove, towards Grand Bay, and man, that tree's all gone.
Yeah.
So I tried the old man over in Grand Bay, south of Grand Bay, and nothing there. Tree's gone.
Well, you know, they've lost a lot of citrus trees even down in Florida, partly from sudden hard freezes, but mostly because of those 2 or 3 years where we had really long, deep droughts. And then sudden freezes, that combination of really, really dry, and then in the wintertime, they'll be happy, then all of a sudden they get zapped by a sudden freeze. And that's taken out a lot of commercial citrus. It really has.
I know it. I love my satsuma. I've been doing it for all my life here, getting it. Anyway, here's what's strange. My banana trees, in place, wife calls it jungle, protected by lime tree I'm talking about.
Darn bananas.
Yeah, banana trees is big, man. Everybody looks at them 20, 25 foot tall. This year, 25, 30 foot tall.
Yeah. We had good rains back in the spring and some good soaking through the summertime. It's been a good year. Good year.
It got on a raised bed too. But what I feel bad about, I had a lime tree planted in the late 90s, I think it was, and it had pulled those suckers off below the grass line and pulled those off. But a hurricane come, wasn't able to maintain it, so it came up. I didn't want to cut it back and kill it.
Yeah.
That sucker got 25, 30 foot tall. He's a nice, big old line, big as softballs, the lumps all of them, but the blossoms everywhere fall right on the patio. And it protected a lot of other tropical plants down there through mild freezes and stuff like that. But what I'm concerned about is when it came up, you know how pretty crepe myrtle trunks are.
Oh, yeah.
I had about five trunks come up in this thing. Pretty as all get out, kept it trimmed, above head high. Nice, love my, but it's got some dead trunks, not the big main trunks, but line's about the regular size of line now, and been losing leaves last several months and stuff. I was hoping anything I do keep losing it from next year or whatever.
Not much, just a whole lot. It just depends on the weather. Commercial growers, they can irrigate their crops. That helps a lot. But in a home yard, it's really just the luck of the draw what kind of weather we get. They're really dependent on an occasional good, deep, slow soaking. And if they don't get that, when they get root damage, Steve, a lot of times people don't realize that root damage can take a year to show up. The plant can get damaged 1 year. The next year, it puts out more, just enough growth, but the roots aren't there. And come summertime, they're overextended. So a lot of times root damage doesn't show up until the heat of summer, and really something happened months earlier. So not much you can do except just prune out the dead stuff and water as needed. That's pretty much it.
I think I'm hearing one I want to hear. It will make it next year as long as don't have any severe weather.
If it looks pretty good right now, I think going into the winter, I think you got it made. Really do.
It's fair. It's got green leaves all over, about half what it could have. It used to have 300 or 400 big old lines on, but these are about the regular line. People come around and get those things.
Yeah. Well, instead of worrying about that, I'd go out there. I'd clean up your jungle to make the sweetheart happy.
I understand.
I appreciate.
I do. I got raised bed. I got the decorative box. It's kind of long. Anyway, I love my place. Thank you so much.
You bet, Steve. Hang in there, man. At least you got a good rain last week, right?
Steve, Steve got to get to work back there.
He does. Hey, let's go to down to Mobile and talk to a few minutes with Mikey. Mikey, how are you today?
Hey, good morning.
Howdy. What's up?
You hear me?
I can. What's up?
I know it is about gardening because it features a lot of things that we grow and have access to, and it's called The Snacking Dead. It's a parody in a cookbook. I didn't write it. I have nothing to do with publishing it. I just think I reread it every year at this time.
Okay,
because
what's the name of it?
The Snacking Dead, a parody in a cookbook by D.B. Walker.
D.B. Walker. And Snacking Dib, D-I-B, what?
D-E-A-D.
Snacking D.
Yeah, The Snacking Dead.
Yes.
I got you.
Snacking Dead.
Okay.
It features zombies, and it features plenty of things that everyone from every age can do. And it's very humorous.
Well, I will look that up. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Particularly if you've got middle school aged kids or older, or even adults, because it goes from appetizers to cocktails. Okay.
All righty. I will look that up, Mikey. Thank you.
I just had to pass it on because, like I said, I do it every year. Love y'all.
Appreciate
you. Bye.
It. Thank you,
Mikey. I thought Mikey had a gardening question.
The snacking dead. Well,
she just wanted to share.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's go down and we got time before we do our cheesy tune to talk with John. He's in Madison. Good morning, John. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, Felder?
So far, so good.
I've got a little pond behind my yard, behind my backyard, and it's full of what my plant app says is pigweed. And I found that stuff's real easy to pull up. I take a garden rake and just pull it up, and I can clean up my bank.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking, that stuff, if I let it dry out, might make a real good free mulch for my vegetable garden. And I Googled it, and it said that stuff can take over in soil too.
Yes, if it is pigweed. Pigweed is a pretty noxious weed in the garden. Makes a lot of seeds.
Okay, so I don't need to be putting it in the vegetable garden.
Well, I could see, if you're gonna till or dig, if you could dig it in, but just use it on top of the ground as a mulch, it's gonna drop seeds on top of the ground. If it bury them, it's not so big a deal. But pigweed, if it's, there's a lot of aquatic weeds. It's pigweed. There's a couple that look like that, but they can be pretty noxious. They come up with,
okay.
and not only comes up from seed, but some of them can send out little runners. You pull them and it keeps coming back. So I would think twice. Anytime you have a lot of something growing like that, I'd think twice about using it as a mulch, because it's telling you it'll get away from you, is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that. I was afraid you were going to say that.
Okay. Sorry about that. I wish I could say you could eat it.
Yeah. It doesn't look. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck on it, man.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, Java. Take another call or do the cheesy tune.
Yeah. Let's see if we can squeeze Kent from Mobile.
Mobile. Kent, what's going on, man? There's a lot of stuff going on in Mobile right now. What's up with you?
Oh, well, I have a yard that's about 2 years old, and it has some degree of weeds in it, but not awful. And I was wondering about putting out a fertilizer for spring. What would you suggest?
For the lawn?
Yeah.
I would not. And keep in mind, I studied turf management at Mississippi State, but also at the Scott's Turf Institute. I don't sell anything. I would never fertilize the grass after the 1st or so of September or before April. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why, but in general, let's wait till the grass greens up next spring and been mowed a time or two before we fertilize it. That's when it can use it. Fertilizing before then not only will fertilize your winter weeds, but it can kick the grass off into a lot of green growth at a time when it doesn't have good roots. So I wouldn't fertilize before April, and if you fertilize much past the first part of September, it can keep the grass tender going into the winter. And in Mobile, you can get a sudden freeze. If the grass is tender, it can be damaged. So, you could put a winterizer out sometime in, September, and that'd be okay. But I wouldn't I think it's too late to do much to help the grass for next year. If you'll just wait till after it's been mowed a time or two next spring and fertilize it then, the grass will be a whole lot healthier, less chance of growing a bunch of weeds over the wintertime.
Okay, well, that's what I needed to know. So I'll wait till next spring to put this out.
Yeah, what kind of grass you got?
Centipede, mostly.
If you'll shop around, find a garden center that sells this stuff called centipede food. Centipede and St. Augustine grass have similar needs. If you get this stuff called centipede food, there is not the first and third numbers will be the same with the 0 middle number. And if you put that out every 2 or 3 years, that's all your grass needs. Every 2 or 3 years, sometime in April. Every year if you want to, if you don't mind mowing. But centipede food is ideal for centipede and St. Augustine, and it has a winterizer ingredient. So look around, see if you can find centipede food and put that out in April. You'll be happy. Your grass will be happy.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Okay, Kent. Appreciate it. All right, in Java, he's in Mobile. I went to this Mobile plant swap. I don't know if we have time to put up the. Well, when we come back, I'm gonna show a couple of shots from the Mobile plant, Mobile plant swap.
I was gonna ask, was it a swap, a show?
It's a plant swap. Quite a show, though. Anyway, I got a really good thing that shows what they think about Mississippi Public Broadcasting down there. I'm horticulturalist Felder Rushing, Java Chapman, and all the folks of the live stream and Mississippi Public Broadcasting. We really, really appreciate the opportunity to put y'all together with local folks talking about local things. Stick with us, folks. We're going to come back with more of the Gestalt Gardener here on Mississippi Public Broadcasting right after this.
Together through the years, together in the future. MPB, your stories, our mission. The nation's oldest traveling celebration of the arts, the National Folk Festival, is coming to downtown Jackson November 7th through the 9th. Discover the sights, sounds, and flavors of our nation. The full lineup is now available, featuring blues, gospel, Puerto Rican, Irish, Southern Soul, Bluegrass, Korean, Zydeco, Flamenco, HBCU marching bands, Choctaw, Go-Go, and more. It's unique and unforgettable fun for the entire family, and it's free. More at nationalfolkfestival.com.
Every parent wants their child to grow, to explore, and to dream big. At MPB, we're proud to support families and teachers across Mississippi with trusted educational programming and resources that inspire learning and spark imagination. From PBS Kids favorites to digital tools and early learning support, MPB is here for young minds, engaged classrooms, and families who believe in the power of learning at every age. Empowering families, inspiring learners. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Hey y'all, football season is finally here. To avoid delays on the road to game day, be sure to download the M.Traffic mobile app or visit m.traffic.com, where you can get real-time updates on crashes, closures, and construction. To reach the end zone, M.Dot encourages safe driving. That means buckle up, obey the speed limit, and avoid distracted driving, especially in work zones. For more information, follow @MississippiDOT on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
Welcome back, folks. Horticulturalist Felder Rushing, me and Java Chapman. That was a theme from the Munsters. You got to be a Java that's before your time.
Now, I was going to ask this question. Was the Munsters before?
That was black and white, okay?
Before Addams Family or Addams Family before Munsters?
Huh.
Because I know they're kind of similar a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. You got me on that.
As the kooky family dynamic.
Yeah, you got me on that. I think the Munsters must have been earlier because it was black and white.
Okay.
So we'll see. Anyway, I got some other things I'd like to share, but you said somebody from the YouTube had said something.
Yeah, we are live streaming on YouTube, and you can always go back if you haven't seen the live stream or missed any part of it. YouTube.com. Just type in the Gestalt Gardener or Mississippi Public Broadcasting. But we did get a question early from John, and it says, "Hi Felder, I'm thinking about planting daylilies. Any favorites?"
Oh boy, my favorite. Yes, I have a favorite. First of all, I give talks to Hemerocallis societies, people who are, they can't stop at 300 daylilies. I gave a lecture at one in Massachusetts of a fellow who had over 7,500 different named daylilies. So, yeah, how can you have a favorite? Well, my favorite, I like the little miniature one. It's kind of boring to daylily people, but it's the one called Stella d'Oro. It's a little small one, and it blooms yellow. It repeats bloom. You see it around McDonald's a lot. It's a nice, sweet one. But my all-time favorite daylily is the old, wild, ugly outhouse ditch bank orange daylily. I like it partly because it's easy. It doesn't have problems.
Did you say outhouse ditch bank?
They call it that old ditch bank lily, the outhouse lily, because it's real common. And even though a lot of people don't like it, it doesn't have any finesse, Java, but it is pretty. And get this, we planted around the sign of the American Horticultural Society's headquarters sign. I'm the American we plant that because it's pretty enough. Everybody, and it's sort of a folk plant. Everybody grows it, but also ain't nobody going to steal it because they got it. Anyway, orange daylily has been around for over 3,000 years, and it's edible. All parts of it are edible. You can saute the buds. You can put the flowers in. You can chop them up. Anyway, it's a great, great daylily. No finesse at all, but you can have all the fancy ones you want, but always have some of this off to one side because that will connect you with people at the Royal Botanic Garden at Kew, in Japan, in Africa, American Horticultural Society, all over the world. When that orange daylily comes into bloom, you can look around and see the connections between people. So my favorite is the old orange one. A lot of people don't like it. Okay, that's the reason I got taste. Thing called taste. Ain't no accounting for taste. But speaking of taste, you can eat the orange ones if you're hungry.
That's so funny because as I looked it up, just randomly on Google, an article popped up and it says the title is "Rogue Daylilies Filling Ditch Bank Project."
There you go. And when you try to look at it, you can eat it. But anyway, there's some really, really fancy ones out there. We have some really avid. We have a daylily society here in Mississippi. Some very avid growers. So what I would encourage you to find out some local daylily people, and then get with them, and they'll share some really, really good ones with you. So that's what I would do. Let's go to Canton, see what Ron's up to. Ron, thank you for holding. How you doing?
Pretty good, Felder.
What's up?
Nice sunshiny day.
Yep.
Last year, you educated me a little bit on the holiday cactus.
Yeah.
And you told me that you could force them to bloom when you wanted them to, but you didn't tell me how to do it.
Yeah, well, these plants, they're tropical plants. They'll freeze if you leave them outside. But what kicks them off to bloom, and it's not just Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter, is when they get a combination of shorter days, longer nights. And that can happen in the late winter, when we have the right amount of, February, March, the days are kind of short then. But also they typically go through a little bit of a dry spell. So sometime in the late summer, September, October, maybe November, if you'll hold back on the water, make them think they're going through a dry spell, that and the combination of the longer nights, it'll kick them into setting flower buds.
So it's too late to get them for Thanksgiving, you think?
Oh yeah, it's too late for Thanksgiving because it take 3 or 4 weeks just to kick off, just to stimulate the flower buds, and then it takes a while for them to grow.
Okay, that was really my question. Thank you, sir.
All right, appreciate it, Ron. Thanks.
Oh, you bet.
Okay, slide down to Kentwood, Louisiana. I went right through Kentwood last week on my way to and from New Orleans. Lank, what's going on?
What's going on, Phil? How are you this morning?
So far, so good. What's up?
Well, my plum tree did pretty good last year, and after the frost that we had, they still budded, and it made a few, but I'm kind of concerned about it this year and what I need to do. I got a bunch of plum trees that kind of make them. Let's see if they make again.
Yeah. Well, there's not much you can do. Was it last year we got some snow down there? I mean, they had snow in Mobile even.
We had that.
There's not much you can do to predict about that. What I would recommend for any kind of fruit grower, especially at home, is to thin out some of the clutter. The big tall stuff, maybe all the little clutter stuff, and keep the plant more open and loose. And if we have if they're predicting a sudden freeze down there, if you'll go out there right after dusk and just wet it down with a hose. Just wet it down. Okay. It's something about, it doesn't protect below about the upper 20s, but it'll help a lot. They're starting to bud up. If you just wet them down right before frost, that'll help them a little bit. But that's pretty much it.
Okay. I thank you for the advice, Phil.
Okay, Lank, appreciate it.
All right.
Java, we got some lines open. If anybody wants to give us a call, it's toll-free 1-877-MPB-RING. But I want to show a couple of pictures. Those of you who are on live stream, sit back and relax and watch. If you're not on live stream, check it out sometime. Go to YouTube and then either MPB or Gestalt Gardener. And I want to start out with picture number 5. I got them numbered here. This is a plant that's blooming at the Agriculture Museum in the Herb Garden right now. It's actually a perennial marigold. Marigolds, we think if you plant them in the spring, they die in the fall.
That's what it is, a marigold.
Well, this is called Mexican mint marigold. It's also called Mexican tarragon because the leaves, if you rub them, they smell like tarragon, sort of minty, and you can cook. It's a tarragon substitute. Well, let's show picture number 6 and show you where I first learned about it. This is the plant that's commonly grown in cemeteries. I mean, that's how tough it. Dead people could grow this, Java.
Yeah.
And it blooms in late October, November. And matter of fact, you go down to South Texas, go to any of these Hispanic or Latino cemeteries, and they are loaded with this because it's symbolic. And then they have parties on what we call the Day of the Dead. This November 1st, November 2nd, they fix up the cemeteries. They have music. They take picnics. They basically, it's a time when the living and the dead get together. It's sort of like homecoming or Memorial Day.
Dia de los Muertos.
That's right. Well, this plant always blooms for the Day of the Dead. It represents bright or something. Anyway, Mexican mint marigold. But I wanted to show down in Mobile Plant Swap, picture number 8. This is a scene from the plant swap I was at last weekend. This is probably about, maybe a sixth of the number of people there. People bring plants from all over, and they put them around there, people swap. But what I want to show you was picture number 9. This is a plant called shampoo ginger. I wish it grew in Jackson, but it doesn't. But this lady, this is one that she got. It's a ginger. In Java, it looks like a pine cone.
That's what I was just about to say. Does it grow pine cones?
Well, some people call it pine cone ginger, but if you squeeze it, this really slick, nasty feeling stuff comes out.
Okay.
It's called shampoo ginger. In Hawaii, this is what the women wash their hair with.
Really?
And it's just, you squeeze it, and it's just like, it's like it just comes out everywhere. But it's shampoo ginger. But the picture I wanted to get to is this picture number 11. Because you sent me down there with a whole bunch of these kind of things. You sent me a bunch of proud to be a neighbor signs.
Proud to be a neighbor signs.
That's right. And you wouldn't believe how many people took those. And I've seen them all over. They're in Ocean Springs. I've seen them all over Jackson. People are getting these yard signs. But in picture number 12, I just want to show you, I was real proud to see this. This guy was walking off with his proud to be a neighbor sign, taking it from a plant swap, put in his yard.
Well, we love our Mobile listeners and viewers and supporters.
Oh yeah, all the way down to Foley, over in, we get a lot of what we call Eastern LA, Eastern Lower Alabama.
Now, with those yard signs, there are some other pickups happening. Let's see, November 4th, you can get you a sign at Washington County Library in Greenville. Also on November 4th, you can go to the Columbus Lowndes Public Library in Columbus. November 7th through the 9th, they're going to be available at the National Folk Festival, downtown Jackson.
I'm going to be there. By the way, I'm going to be there the whole weekend.
And November 13th at the L&D Depot in Gulfport. And for more information about getting your free yard sign, visit mpbonline.org. And, speaking of the Folk Festival, it's going to be a stone cold groove, man.
It's going to be all kinds of folk. You think of Mississippi and blues and country, and no, it's going to be everything there. But, Java, there is one yard sign that's really, really rare.
Now, that's a great way to put it out there. It's a rarity.
Picture number 13, Jason here at the Marketing Foundation. I don't know his title.
Yeah, that's communications, which is marketing, and that comes straight from a marketing brain.
he put together a proud to be a neighbor sign with me as a Muppet, and there it is in my yard.
And I think we've settled on Felton Plushing.
I don't know.
Instead of Felder Rushing, it's Felton Plushing.
I don't know, but anyway, you see all my wildflowers. I got some bottles out there and all like that. But this is so fun. We ought to make a button out of this or something.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, like an enamel pin of the Muppet character. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, let's look at one more picture. Picture number 14. This is the close-up of me as a Muppet. I mean, it's my hair, it's my little goatee, and my hat, everything. How can something like that look so much like me, unless it's just got the right attitude?
No, that's you, man. It's Jason when he came through, and I got the poster on my door because it's just that's a great picture.
I'm very honored. I've been made an honorary Muppet by Mississippi Public Broadcasting. But I want to show this. This time of year, a lot of people put these scarecrows and stuff like that in their garden. But I actually wrote a book on scarecrows. I don't know if you've seen this before, Java.
No, I know you've written many books, but I didn't know you written a scarecrow book.
This is a whole book about just a history of how to make different kinds of scarecrows. And it's just, I did this. Well, the reason I want to show this because the front and the back cover, and the back cover are of scarecrows that I took in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. They used to have a really big scarecrow festival. Look at that. That one, and on the back they had these scarecrows in Ocean Springs. Anyway, between scarecrows and Muppets, you know, this old raggedy long-haired guy, he ain't doing too bad.
No,
he ain't doing too bad at all. And by the way, I was yesterday. I thinned out my books. You know, every now and then I got to get rid of some of the books. I got book shelves just growing with books, and I live in a little cabin, so I go through and I thin them out. And the ones that I've read, I've got all the quotes out of. I've used them up. I have to get rid of them. And this idea, I took some to the plant swap the other day, and they just disappeared. A lot of good gardening books. But what I've started doing lately, the ones that are left over, you know these little corner libraries that are everywhere?
Yeah, like the pop-up libraries?
Yeah. Well, I'm going around and I'm sticking books in those. I feel like a guerrilla. What would it be? A guerrilla biblio...
Yeah, you'd be a guerrilla librarian.
A biblio bandit.
Wow.
Yeah, but what's really interesting, just like trick-or-treating, you know, if I still did trick-or-treating, kids come, I want to decide what candy they get, depending on their costume. Well, I'm taking these books around and decide what neighborhood gets what kind of books, and I got some creepy books.
Now I'm gonna give you a little tip. Maybe you do it, maybe you don't. You should put like a pressed flower in one of inside the book that you...
And see if anybody finds it.
And if anybody finds, because if it has a pressed flower, then it was a Felder book. And then they would know it, they would have to listen and know that it was a Felder book. And it's like, wait a minute, I got this book and it had a pressed flower in it. This is a Felder book.
Yep. Well, you know, whatever it takes, you know. But instead of throwing them away, you should just throw them away. I mean, books and books and books. Good books, you know, book on all about daffodils. I'm sorry, I know... I don't need a book anymore. Taking up space.
So see, then you put a pressed daffodil in there.
There you go. That's a good idea. You're turning me, instead of a biblio bandit, I'm turning it to biblio Robin Hood.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. Hey, let's go up to Starkville and see what Ann's got going on. Ann, thank you for calling. What you doing? What's going on?
Well, good morning. I had mentioned to you on the Mississippi Garden Facebook page that you needed to make your Muppet image into a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But it just occurred to me you really could probably make some kind of scarecrow for your garden.
Ooh, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. We're thinking about, you know, John and I were thinking about turning it to a button, because a lot of people don't wear T-shirts, but they'll put a button on their shirt. That would be fun.
Right.
That would be fun. I'm just, you know, I'm so chuffed about this. Just chuffed as I can be. But anyway, I did see your note. I appreciate that. So,
okay.
I want to ask you something. You're on the Mississippi Gardening Facebook. Do you think it's a nice site or a mean site?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
We were real.
The comments are funny. Sometimes you know, people just don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. Well, we try to keep it nice. It's one of the few sites on Facebook you can go where we police it. If you're not nice, you can just find some other place to go. It's all about gardening in Mississippi. But I appreciate you belong. We have almost 64,000 members.
Wow. Well, I love it, and I check it pretty often.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thanks for tuning in to
have a great
MPB.
day.
Thanks for tuning in to MPB also. Okay, let's go down to, I think we got time to talk to Don. He's calling from Hattiesburg. Don, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
So far, so good. Not so bad. What's up?
I have a little tropical style garden here in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
And I have a palm. I've got 11 large palms. There's sables, windmills, and a couple of pendo palms.
Yeah, you got some sagos. I know they're not real palms, but I know you got some sagos.
I got the sagos, but I also have the sable palmettos.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. That's a native plant.
It is. They got a 35-foot one right on one side of my house.
That's the real. That's actually the state flower of South Carolina. They got it on their flag.
It is, and it's Florida's state tree as well.
Okay.
But let's see. So I have a palm called a mule palm, which is a cross between a pendo palm and the queen palm.
Wow.
And
is hardy for you?
What I have to do with it when the temperature is going to be lower than 15 degrees.
Yeah.
Me and my son go out and put a step ladder over it. We cut everything off of it but the spear.
Yeah.
Put a step ladder over it and stick a little heater up under there.
I'm laughing with you, not at you.
It's been interesting. The first year that we did it, the wind was blowing about 20 miles an hour, and as we were trying to put the tarp over it, and the wind picked us both up, and I didn't know my son knew that many cuss words.
You'd be surprised.
I was definitely surprised.
Well, that is hardcore, man.
Anyway, I was just wondering if there was any tips or tricks. I heard you talking about spraying water on a sensitive plant.
No, not with palms. Not with palms. The only really growing part besides the little furry roots is that growing tip up at the top. If you can protect it by wrapping it pretty good, then you can protect the tree. But that's about it. So, anyway, we're out of time, man.
Yeah, Don. Appreciate you for calling.
Him and his boy being picked up like parasailers.
And Felder, before we get out of here, seeing that it is Halloween and you played the Munsters theme for your cheesy tune, and we were talking about Addams Family.
Yep.
Addams Family and Munsters both premiered in September of 1964.
They came out the same time?
Addams Family came out 6 days before the Munsters premiered.
Well, there was a corporate leak there somewhere.
September 18th for Addams Family, September 24th for the Munsters.
All righty, man. We are the wealth of things. We appreciate folks tuning in. Mississippi Public Broadcasting, this is what we do. We'll take calls. We'll do the Facebook, the YouTube thing. So if you want to check in during the week, check it out. I'm horticulturalist Felder Rushing, Java Chapman, John C., Brendan doing all the
and Abram
doing all the live stream stuff. We appreciate it. Be careful, be safe. There's crazy people out there, and some of them are dressed up in costumes, and they're little people. So be careful, those folks. And we'll see y'all same time, same place here on Mississippi Public Broadcasting.